get ready to journey into the wild and mystical world of Legends of Chima. This series takes us into the realm of Chima, where animal tribes like the lions, crocodiles, eagles, and wolves coexist, though peace doesn't come easy. So settle in as we dive deep into the entire saga of Legends of Chima, from start to end. In the first episode of the series, in the mystical land of Chima, Laval the lion and Cragger the crocodile are the best of friends. An innocent mischief results in Cragger getting his first experience with the Chi, a powerful sacred resource important to the delicate balance of Chima. The Chi gives awesome power to the user, but needs to be spent carefully and certainly not by young adventurous animals. The incident leads to disagreements between the lions and the crocs, and ultimately to fighting. The two friends try to convince everyone that this is just a big misunderstanding, but an escalating series of unfortunate events push Laval and Cragger apart. In the end, Cragger's parents, the king and queen of the crocodile tribe, fall into the Gorge of Eternal Depth and are lost. The young Cragger is now the new king of the crocodile tribe. Laval consoles him, but it seems that Crueler, Cragger's sinister twin sister, has other plans. In the next episode, it begins with Cragger grieving over his parents' presumed deaths, looking at his crown. His sister Crueler manipulates him with a hypnotic flower, convincing him to attack the lion tribe. Meanwhile, Laval's father, Lagravis, recounts Chima's origin, describing how Chi transformed the animals into sentient beings. During a competition for the Golden Chi, Cragger arrives late but demands to duel Laval, who refuses. Enraged, Cragger allies with the wolves and ravens to attack the lions. During the battle, Laval is nearly drowned by Cragger, but is saved by the lion legend beast. Realizing the battle's brutality, Cragger starts to regret his actions, but Crueler hypnotizes him again. Laval returns, riding the legend beast, which overpowers Cragger and his forces, ultimately forcing them to retreat. The episode closes as the lion legend beast departs, leaving Cragger's army defeated. In the other episode, during the weekly Chi distribution, Laval is stunned when his father, Lagravis, gives Chi to Cragger, despite the crocodile's recent aggression. Lagravis explains that all tribes receive Chi even if they're not friendly. Disagreeing, Laval chases after Cragger, demanding the Chi back. Crueler, still controlling Cragger, has him return the Chi, telling their tribe that the lions refused them Chi, which angers the crocodiles. Eris helps Laval see his mistake, and they try to make amends by returning the Chi in person. However, Cragger taunts Laval, leading to a confrontation with the crocodiles. In desperation, Laval throws the Chi into a bottomless chasm. Eagles and lions arrive to rescue them, forcing Cragger to retreat as his allies fail to show up. Laval briefly sees the legend beast and wonders if it didn't help due to his actions with the Chi. Suddenly, an earthquake shakes the land, unsettling Eris, as such tremors haven't happened in years. Later, they see their friend Gorzan planting a flower he protected all day, unaware he delayed the wolves and ravens by clashing with them earlier. In the next episode, while cleaning the map room, Laval and Eris decide to explore some places on the map, setting off in Lagravis' lion tank. Spied on by Cragger and Crueler, the two plot to attack the lion temple while Laval and Lagravis are away. Laval and Eris end up lost in the falling jungle, but are rescued by Gorzan and then climb Spiral Mountain, where they enjoy a breathtaking sunset. However, Laval forgets the parking brake, causing the tank to roll off the mountain. Needing repairs, they turn to the Beaver tribe, who eagerly agree to fix the tank. During their visit, Laval and Eris discover the beavers are building a dam to block water from the Lion Temple on Cragger's orders. Meanwhile, the Lion Temple's elders notice the empty pool and send out a distressed roar, prompting Lagravis to return, though he is ambushed by wolves. Laval and Eris convince the beavers to abandon the dam to repair the tank. Cragger and Crueler then attack, and in the ensuing battle, Cragger's Chi Blast topples the dam, restoring the water flow. Laval wakes up in his room, relieved to find everything resolved, though he's shocked to see the beavers modify the tank by adding wings, much to Lagravis' dismay. In the other episode, Cragger and Crueler plan to eliminate the Eagle tribe's interference in their battles with the lions by attacking the Eagle Spire. After failed attempts to use bellow plants to reach the spire, Crueler hires Ripnik, the Raven tribe's master thief, to steal the Mother Tooth, a relic of the wolf legend beast. Ripnik plants one of Eris's feathers to frame the eagles, inciting the wolves' anger. The wolves, believing the eagles stole the relic, seek Cragger's help to assault the spire. The crocs chain the spire, planning to shake the eagles from their tower during the wolves' attack. In response, Laval calls for lion reinforcements, but they struggle in the fight. Laval and Eris turn to the Ravens, who fly their army to the spire. Amid the chaos, Ripnik steals the Mother Tooth from Cragger's command ship, but Laval and Eris quickly catch him. Ripnik drops the relic in front of the wolves, leading to a confrontation. The wolves slide back down the chains to Chima, and the battle concludes with with a victory for the Lions and Eagles. In the next episode, every 100 years a purple moon occurs, causing the wolves to lose their higher reasoning and go completely out of control. Cragger had a deadly idea. She and the Croc's bag kidnaps Galuna and tied her up to the Forever Rock, with a message saying that this was a game as well as a huge pile of bananas. Gorzan came to the Lions for help. Him and Laval went through the forest, but the wolves had already destroyed. Galuna kept screaming where Gorzan went to find her. The wolves wrecked their transportation, so they began walking where they met Skinnet. They then met Eris and Grumlow at the gorilla forest. The whole gorilla tribe went to get Galuna, but Wonald the wolf was bringing her back. Gorilla versus wolf. The gorillas didn't stand a chance against the 100-year moon wolves. When they got back to the forest, it was day, and the 100-year moon was over. Skinnet, not knowing this was the cause, unleashed a huge stink that could be seen above the treetops. In the next episode, the sacred pool of chi in the Lion Temple has produced the biggest orb of golden chi ever. Both the wolves and crocodiles are scheming, and Cragger has hired Chima's greatest speeder rider, Dom de la Woosh, to win the golden chi for him. Laval completely forgets his speeder is dying out, so he plugs a chi. He then caught up and beat Bladvik, Rogan, and Skinnet. Halfway through the race, Cragger pushes Laval into the water full of piranhas. He was then pulled out by a mystery hero, Shadowwind, who then sped ahead and won the race. Cragger followed him to get his identity, but never caught up to him. Laval and Eris met Dom de la Woosh on the way home, and the Woosh mentioned what a great rider Laval was. In the other episode, while practicing with his spear, Cragger annoys Cragger, who sends him away. He wanders into the gorilla forest and unknowingly cuts down the Tower Flower, a sacred tree that the gorilla tribe believes will bring ultimate peace to Chima. Angered by this destruction, the gorillas launch an attack on the crocodile tribe, joined by the lions and eagles. The battle moves into the swamp, where the crocs quickly gain the upper hand and corner the allied tribes. Cragger tries to shoot Laval, who is using bellow plants to hover, but Laval falls into shallow water and manages to knock Cragger and Cragger into a tree. Working together, the lions, eagles, and gorillas turn the tide, lifting the gorillas with the eagles' help and defeating the crocs. The episode ends with Cragger and Cragger stuck in a tree, defeated. In the other episode, after a failed attempt to destroy Shadowwind, Cragger loses faith in Cragger and so turns to the wolves, promising to relieve them of service to the crocs in exchange for helping her disrupt the speeder race and raid the Lion Temple. They then hire Ferdy the Fox to spread rumors and cause chaos. Eventually, the animals break into an angry mob at each other's throats, while Cragger and the wolves sneak into the temple but are spotted by Cragger. They soon steal all the chi, but are caught by Cragger, Eris, Laval, and Rogan, who all team up to stop the thieves. A battle ensues and the wolves get away, leaving Cragger feeling regretful for betraying her brother. In the next episode, the wolves begin chi-jacking everyone in Chima, which soon throws Chima out of balance, causing earthquakes. Cragger returns to the swamp, where she's thrown out of the castle for her betrayal. While the wolves spread the lion forces too thin, they attack the temple and steal all the chi. Laval then decides to deliver the chi via air. The eagles agree to help deliver the chi, but soon run into trouble when the wolves try to shoot them down, but ultimately fail, and the tribes celebrate a job well done over the wolves. In the next episode, to prevent further wolf raids, Eglor, Eris, and other eagles assist the lions by delivering chi to the tribes using their eagle interceptors, with Laval riding atop Eris's interceptor. During the delivery, they fly into a sandstorm, causing Laval and Eris to crash land on a sharp rock over the Gorge of Eternal Depth. The chi they were transporting falls into a ledge, and Laval calls Gorzan, who arrives with a strong rope. As Laval climbs down, another storm hits, snapping the rope and forcing him to use a chi orb to escape. He hears mysterious cries from the pit below. Meanwhile, at the Croc Swamp hideout, Cragger tries to regain Cragger's trust with an evil flower, but it is wilted. Cragger, frustrated, orders her detained and throws her into a pit. Cragger later escapes, collecting more flowers that lack power, and tries to gain entry into the Croc Fort, but her allies refuse to support her. In desperation, she steals a pack tracker loaded with chi, igniting a chase by the wolves. Cragger calls for backup, leading to a skirmish between the Crocs and wolves. Laval and Eris witness the wolves and Crocs battling and consider intervening, but Eris reminds Laval that this conflict drains their chi supplies, helping restore balance in Chima. In the other episode, while the Crocs are kept prisoner by the wolves, Cragger informs them of Skinnet observing their treatment of the Crocs, which prompts the wolves to be nice to the Crocs with obvious regret. The tribal elders gather to discuss whether or not they rescue the Crocs, but Laval doesn't believe that the Crocs should remain captive, and so sets out with Eris to the Ravens racetrack to find Shadowwind. Razor agrees to get Shadowwind for them if Laval wins a speeder race against him, which he does, and so fulfills his promise more or less. While the Crocs seem to be enjoying their captor's luxury, the wolves grow more agitated. Laval, Eris, and Shadowwind attack the wolf camp and free the Crocs. In the end, the wolves were so fed up with the over-demanding Croc that they fake their own defeat just to let their prisoners be freed and go away. But Shadowwind is revealed to be Ferdy the Fox, paid by Razor to imitate Shadowwind. And when Ferdy was out to imitate him more, the real Shadowwind saw Ferdy leaving the Raven's camp. Legravis then congratulates Laval for freeing the Crocs. In the next episode, the wolves are still stealing Chi. Cruller then runs out of the Persuader plans to control Cragger's mind, leaving him clear-minded and happy. Cruller then seeks out the aid of Razor, who takes her to the inventor of the Raven tribe, the half-eagle, half-raven, Regal, who tricks the crocodiles into distributing his homemade chi to the beavers, bears, and the rhinos. It is revealed by the ravens to be Regal's Cheagle, and causes those who use it to act like chickens. Outraged, Cragger retrieves all the fake chi, but is stopped by Laval, who scolds him for what he's done. Cragger reveals the story to Laval, but are soon surrounded by the entire wolf tribe who want Cragger's chi. The wolves then boldly plan to attack the Lion Temple, but unknowingly are tricked by Laval and Cragger into taking the Cheagle instead. Before they attack the temple, the wolves start acting like chickens, all except for Warris. All the wolves are left back to their camp, and Regal is banished to the Outlands for his crime. But more importantly, Laval and Cragger's friendship is restored. In the other episode, all the tribes in Chima are signing a treaty to never fight again, but Cruller is against it. When the animals arrive at the Forever Rock, Cruller throws a Persuader plant root in the fire and creates the Fog of Destiny. They all fall into a dream where they're all Chi'd up, and they all find their own destiny. Cragger's destiny, to rule all of Chima, then causes Cragger to punch Laval out of the fog, causing Laval to wake up. After a couple of misguided attempts to free his friends from the fog, Laval decides to instead steal an orb of golden chi, allowing him to create a mountain under his friends, forcefully knocking them out of the Fog of Destiny. Although this gets Laval's friends out of the fog, Legravis reminds Laval that the penalty for stealing the golden chi is exile. Legravis tries to soften the penalty, but Laval, who has seen his destiny as a true leader who leads by example, shoulders the full penalty of exile. Meanwhile, upon arriving back at the Crocodile tribe, Cragger has Cruller incarcerated so that he can have Chima for himself. Skinnet also tries to pursue his destiny by giving his stink scent to all of Chima, much to the other tribes and Plovar's disgust. In the other episode, Laval is sent into exile by a reluctant Legravis, and all his friends, excluding Cragger, bid him a tearful farewell. Laval then leaves for the Outlands, and Cragger happily gloats. He then orders Ripnik to steal Laval's stuff to lure Legravis into a trap and lock him in the dungeon with Ruler, who reveals the truth behind all of Cragger's evil deeds. Laval then begins his exile in the Fangs and is greeted by his roommates, Skinnet and Plovar, who follow him, which really annoys Laval. Laval runs into Shadowwind, who gives him the Pledge of the Pack, which was believed to have been lost, which is covered in goo from the Outlands and has extra writing on the bottom of the page. Plovar then leaves for a teeth cleaning appointment with Cragger. Upon his return, Plovar reveals that Legravis is in the dungeon, and Laval then rushes to the Croc Castle. Laval then offers Cragger a deal to release his father in exchange for the pledge, which was revealed to say, "Make us proud, Miracle Baby," which is what Cragger's parents called him as a child, thus giving him hope they're still alive. He accepts and releases Legravis as Laval's exile is undone, saying Chima needs him, and he happily agrees. Back at the Lion Temple, Laval's friends, especially Eris, tearfully welcome him back into Chima. In the next episode, a strange black cloud has appeared around the floating mountain Kavora, source of the Chi. Laval and Eris investigate, but the cloud seems to fight back. Cragger tries to get Plovar to take him to Shadowwind upon learning that he gave Laval the Pledge of the Pack from Crominus. Laval and the Lions must join the Eagle tribe, the Gorilla tribe, the Bear tribe, the Crocodile tribe, the Wolf tribe, and the Raven tribe in the fight against the Black Cloud, but the worst is yet to come. In the Season 1 finale, following the incident with the mysterious Black Cloud, the Chi Falls have run dry. Eris and the Beaver tribe try to get Mount Kavora to learn why. Laval searches for the Legend Beast, creatures that can restart the falls. The Crocodile tribe blames the Lion tribe for destroying Chima and are rallying the Wolf tribe, the Raven tribe, and even the Rhino tribe. Lots of rocks are used to persuade them to help, for a large-scale attack to conquer the remaining Chi. The greatest battle in Chima is imminent. The Crocodile, Wolf, Raven, and Rhino tribes make their big attack on the Lion City. Laval calls the Eagle, Gorilla, and Bear tribes for help, but the Bears sleep through it. Laval and Cragger make a short battle on the Lion Temple, but the temple closes and Laval and Cragger fall. As they both think they'll pass away, they both remember what such good friends they were, turning Cragger good again. Everyone expected Laval to be dead, but at the end of the battle, Laval returns on the Crocodile Legend Beast's back as well as Queen Crunket. Laval explains how Shadow Wind led him to the Legend Beast. After Shadow Wind led him to the Legend Beast, he spoke 2 words. For Chima, the Legend Beast was trapped by one of the crawlers. Queen Crunket, who was on the Crocodile Legend Beast, explains that these crawlers have trapped all the Legend Beast and King Crominus. She also explained that the crawlers were responsible for blocking the Chi Falls. Later, the 8 main tribe warriors head over to the Forever Rock, where they get ready to go to the Outlands in order to save Chima. In the first episode of Season 2, in this episode, members of each of the 8 main tribes went into the Outlands to look for Legend Beast, but all they found was vicious plants that tried to eat them. After they escaped the vicious plants, the Black Cloud was following them. They were running fast as they could, but they wound up in a mysterious racetrack. They got caught up on a dead end. Then Rogan saved the members of the 8 tribes. Rogan told them that he took a shortcut from a little house. Then Cragger asked what little house. When they got to the little house, they got trapped by a lock. They then met this exiled lion called Lavertus. Lavertus said that he had been in exile for years. Lavertus said that he would help them, or will he? In the next episode, as the tribes of Chima fight to protect their chi from a black cloud, 8 heroes work to rescue the gorilla and rhino Legend Beast. Gorzan, Laval, Cragger, and Warriz devise a plan to disguise Rogan's rock flinger as a fly to distract the spiders and help the gorilla legend escape. When near their Legend Beast, Rogan gains temporary intelligence, crafting an abacus and calculating a rescue plan for the rhino legend. He reveals his truck doesn't have autopilot, and it's actually driven by Renona, making Eris jealous of their bond. Meanwhile, in Chima, the tribes shoot down wing strikers and recover chi in the swamp. Crueler suggests using it to attack the lions, but Crunket insists they need to unite against their new enemy. When spiders trap the Crocs, Shadow Wind arrives, defeating the spiders and helping the Crocs capture them. The heroes launch an attack on the spiders, allowing Gorzan to free the gorilla legend. Rogan cleverly uses rolling rocks to release the rhino legend, while Spinlin, a spider, tries and fails to capture him. In a final blow, Rogan launches a rock pilot at Spinlin, chipping her fang, much to her dismay. With the Legend Beast rescued, the heroes wondered what Lavertus does in their absence, and the episode ends with the Raven Legend Beast flying over the Outland base. In the next episode, the 8 heroes are troubled when things go missing and find out that Lavertus is Shadow Wind. As a team, they race Lavertus and beat him. In Chima, Crueler tries to make a deal with the spiders, but while she talks, they use their limbs to pick the locks. While they break out, they take Plovar with them so he can clean and fix Spinlin's fangs. On the way to the Scorpion's lair, Lavertus said he won the Golden Chi so he would use it to make his speeder's track, and would use the rest to make a bigger wall to keep out the dark tribes. In the Scorpion's lair, the Scorpions use the Golden Chi to build a statue of the Great Scorpion in the sky, whom they believe dropped the Chi down the Gorge of Eternal Depth. To free the Raven Legend Beast, Razor dumps golden paint on the Scorpions and has the Raven Legend pick them up and stash them. Upon leaving, Razor leaves his speeder behind. Scorm decides to build more speeders. At the end of the episode, the Dark Tribes are seen chipping tribestone rocks off of Mount Kavora to make speeder wheels. In the other episode, the Dark Tribes start building their own speeder vehicles to combat the heroes' respective speeders. At Lavertus' base, Eris, with the help of Eagle Legend Beast, spots the Bear Legend Beast, and the heroes plan to rescue him. The Bear Legend Beast, along with the Eagle Legend's eggs, are on a seesaw trap, and the heroes figure out how to rescue the Legend Beast and the eggs. Gladvik controls the Bear Beast by talking to him in the Dream Zone the bears experience. After the Bear Legend moves, the flank moves, and he is freed. The Dark Tribes arrive and capture the Bear Levin and Bladvik. They chase Laval on their new speeders, and Bladvik stops the Dark Tribes by using his loud snoring to cause an avalanche. Meanwhile, at Lavertus' base, Warriz is trying to find the Wolf Legend by using the Mother Fang. Renona tries to help, but ends up hitting Warriz with the periscope several times. In the end, the Dark Tribes are seen holding the Wolf Beast and stinging her, and they have Crominus in a cage. Warriz and Cragger go off on a mission of their own, but get captured by the spiders. Now, it is up to the rest of the heroes to mount up the Legend Beast and go on one last daring rescue mission. But Lavertus is reluctant to help when he learns that Cragger's father is captured. In the Season 2 finale, Lavertus fell in love with Crunket, a crocodile, and they became lovers. But there was someone else who loved Crunket. Crominus was jealous of them because he loved Crunket and bought a very powerful and rare seed from someone. He used it to grow a flower, and anyone who smelled it was bewitched and under his command. Crominus used this to bewitch Lavertus, and in this way he kept Crunket away from him. Not only that, he also asked Lavertus to steal all the chi. However, Lavertus was caught doing so. So Lavertus was thrown out of there and his love affair with Crunket ended. Back in the present, the war was going on. Laval is separated from his friends in the Scorpion Cave, so he looks for a way out. Laval sees a lion there, but he needs help. He's afraid of the water and is trapped there, but Laval pays his debt and rescues him. Then the Scorpion Cave starts to collapse and everyone has to flee. Laval is reunited with his friends. Lavertus is angry with Crominus and wants to confront him. Crominus goes to him, even though he doesn't want to, but Lavertus does not attack him and is prepared to sacrifice himself by giving him something. Laval and his friends escape from the cave. Lavertus stays there, and the cave collapses. Afterwards, Laval and his friends return to Chima, and everyone is happy. Crominus explains to the king that Lavertus is not a traitor. Then the Cheese come back, and all the problems seem to be solved for the time being. In the first episode of Season 3, Eris has a nightmare of her wings catching fire and awakens in a panic, accidentally falling through the glass floor at Eagle Spire. She crashes into a basketball hoop where Cragger and Laval are playing with Chi, but is unable to discuss her dream with them as they are too distracted. Meanwhile, deep within the Scorpion Cave, Scorm's Chi Orb awakens Sir Fanger, who frees himself and prepares to release the other hunters from their icy prison. As Laval and Cragger return to the Lion Temple, Eris reminds them of the stolen Chi in the Outlands, but they dismiss her worries. At the Scorpion Cave, Scorm orders the stolen Chi to be thrown into a gorge, unknowingly delivering it to Sir Fanger, who uses it to awaken the rest of the hunters. On Market Day, Eris experiences another vision of herself catching fire while selling a clock, realizing she's hallucinating. During the speeder race, Laval and Cragger lose control while using Chi, resulting in Gorzan winning the Golden Chi. Meanwhile, all the hunters have awakened and discover their new ice powers, freezing any creatures in their path as they march out of the chasm. Eris reluctantly agrees to join Laval and Cragger at a bonfire that night. The hunters continue their conquest, freezing spiders they encounter and salvaging vehicles from the ruins of their old temple. They build a ramp to ascend the Gorge of Eternal Depth, preparing to enter Chima once more. In the next episode, Eris wakes from a dream only to find it becoming reality, as Chima is being frozen. The Ice Clan leads their attack on Chima, starting with the Crocodile Swamp. The tribes lead a daring attempt to stop them, but are forced to retreat, and they thaw their warriors. In the next episode, Laval, Cragger, and Eris chase off the hunters at the Crocodile Swamp and melt it down, finding out that no crocodiles are trapped under the ice. The hunters are defeated by the hero's new fire powers from the Phoenix. Sir Fanger targets the Crescent as the first place the fire was seen, and the mammoths make speeders. Meanwhile, Lagravis is confused with the Phoenix and is stunned to find out he's super serious. Eris asks for more fire chi from Fluminox, but he will only agree if they will pass a test protecting the Crescent. The heroes are equipped with fire chi from Eris, but the hunters arrive and Laval has a speeders match with Sir Fanger. Back at the Lion City, Longtooth tries to get Lagravis to laugh with several jokes. Skinnet arrives at the Crescent and his stink forces the heroes to get out of the fire shield protecting the hill. Luckily, as the heroes ran out of fire chi, the Phoenix came to the rescue and chased the hunters off. The Bastion lands on the Crescent and reveals a Phoenix temple. Laval welcomes them to Chima, but Tormak tells him off, and he meets Liella. Fluminox tells the heroes they passed the test and that fire chi will be there for them when they need it. Laval returns to the Lion City and tells Lagravis that he's in love with Liella. Lagravis laughs and says he finally understands humor. In the other episode, when the tribes of Chima, armed with ample fire chi, launch a furious counter-assault against the hunters, Fengar and his cohorts disappear underground. They now use an ancient tunnel system under Chima to move about. Fanger becomes obsessed with catching the Phoenix boy Flinx, the child of his arch-enemy King Fluminox. But Flinx has a few tricks up his sleeve. Our heroes continue pushing back the hunters with their fire chi-powered vehicles, but when they search the sites of the hunters' attacks, they can't find any of the defeated animals. What has happened to them? All over Chima, animals disappear without a trace. Fanger has changed his strategy. Laval and Liella's relationship grows as he gives her a tour of the Lion City, but distracted, he misses a key battle against the hunter. Tormak joins the fight and saves the day, but the Lion King, King Lagravis, is captured and brought to the Ice Fort. Who will lead the lions now? In his father's absence, Laval is forced to take over as king of the Lion tribe, a role that does not suit him well. The hunters launch yet another major attack on the Lion City. The Phoenix must come to the rescue yet again, but Fanger does not go down without a fight and gets the last word. Laval tries to mount a rescue to save the kings and Liella, but Flinx accidentally thaws out Fanger's trophy room and they end up having to fight both the hunters, scorpions, spiders, and bats. Fanger gets a first-hand look at Flinx's power and is more intent than ever to capture the boy. In the other episode, the tribes of Chima search for Liella with no success. Eris, experiencing another vision of Mount Kavora's collapse and a mysterious panther, crashes into the Lion Temple. She shares her concerns with Laval, who insists they need to locate Liella first and believes only one cat can help. Meanwhile, in the Phoenix Temple, Tormak worries about Liella's whereabouts. Fluminox tries to console him, sharing his own past regrets. In the Gorge of Eternal Depth, the hunters construct a new ice mountain, and Sir Fanger plans to prevent another illumination by stealing the artifact, essential to the Phoenix. Fanger manipulates Tormak, threatening never to reveal Liella's location unless Tormak retrieves the artifact. Overwhelmed by emotion, Tormak steals the artifact from the Phoenix Temple Laval, but later changes his mind and confronts the hunters, demanding Liella's return. Sir Fenger refuses, vowing Tormak will never see her again. Determined, Tormak brings the artifact outside Phoenix territory where it explodes in flames, transforming him into the Panther from Eris's vision. Liella's drawing is burned in the process and Tormak flees. Laval and Eris, seeing the Panther from Eris's visions, follow him, realizing the prophecy has come true. Tormak sees Liella but encounters a saber-toothed tiger instead, angrily demanding her location. Laval and Eris learn that the Panther knows Liella, but Phoenix forces pursue Tormak. Flummonux orders the pursuit, revealing that Tormak is the Panther, while Tormak flees, full of regret for his actions. In the other episode, atop Spiral Mountain, Liella demands her release as the hunters prepare for her forced wedding to Sir Fenger. The saber-toothed tigers, mammoths, and vultures make final arrangements, with Sir Fenger irritated by the formal attire Vardy insists he wear. As the ceremony begins with mammoths trumpeting "Here Comes the Bride," Laval, Eris, Rogan, Warris, and Cragger arrive to disrupt the event. A battle ensues as the heroes attempt to free Liella, tipping over a mammoth mech that holds her captive. Mottrot slices through the ropes binding the mech, causing it to teeter. In frustration, Sir Fenger lets Liella fall off the cliff, but Laval throws her his sword and fire chi, allowing her to cut herself free and return safely to Mount Kavora. Meanwhile, Flummonux mourns Tormak's betrayal, and Flinks tries unsuccessfully to console him. In despair, Flummonux ventures to the Fangs, where he falls through the ice into the Gorge of Eternal Depth. The hunters trap him there, anticipating the Phoenix's attempt to rescue him. Laval and his friends dive into the gorge with the blasting bastion to save Flinks, only to find themselves trapped by Sir Fenger. Suddenly, Lavertus, who has been hiding in the caves, reveals himself and offers to help the heroes escape. In the next episode, Chima is frozen. The heroes are trapped in the Gorge of Eternal Depth. The hunters are preparing their ultimate assault on the Lion City and Mount Kavora. Another legend is revealed, and an ally from the past makes a surprising return. Maybe, just maybe, there may still be a spark of hope. Laval, Cragger, Eris, and Liella journey through the Outlands to find the spark of hope. They encounter Tormak, now a charred figure due to the artifact's explosion, who reveals he took it to free Liella. Tormak unleashes the artifact's power, revealing the map of the Fire Wings, which Lavertus copies. The group reaches the field below the Eagle Spires, the location of the first Fire Wings. Eris, thinking like a phoenix, dives to retrieve the wings, creating a light explosion that Sir Fenger notices. Eris and Cragger head to Spiral Mountain for the next pair, while Laval searches the Grand Archway. Eris causes Spiral Mountain to spin, which eventually grants Cragger the Fire Wings when he realizes they're the true guardians of Chima. Meanwhile, the tribes gather to defend Lion City from the hunters' attack. Lavertus reunites with Legravis, and together they lead the defense, ultimately driving the hunters to retreat. Sir Fenger, desperate for reinforcements, orders his hunters to awaken a fourth tribe from frozen sleep. At the Grand Archway, Mungus helps Laval uncover the Fire Wings. Laval risks a jump to claim them and is saved by Cragger in his helicopter. Meanwhile, Vardy and others awaken the Ice Bears in the Gorge of Eternal Depth, triggering the Bear Tribe's awakening as they prepare for battle. In the series finale, Lavertus and Legravis still have their army defending the city, but the tide soon turns as the Ice Hunters awaken the Ice Bear Tribe, which then attacks everything in sight. Bladvik and his tribe arrive and fight the Ice Bear Tribe in a blind fury, while Laval, Cragger, and Eris have found all but one of the Wings of Fire and look for the final Wings of Fire at the Forever Rock. Eris has a dreamlike vision of Flummonux telling her to look around the Forever Rock, and eventually Eris reaches in and grabs the final piece. Then Eris calls their friends from the main tribe, and together they fly to Mount Kavora at top speed to cause another illumination, only to be halted by the Vulture tribe. Meanwhile, Sir Fenger and most of the Ice Hunters make it to the Phoenix Temple and fight King Flummonux. However, Flummonux soon falls and entrusts Flinks to launch the illumination. The others make it to the heart of Mount Kavora, and Flinks jumped in and becomes the 9th Phoenix. After the illumination, the Ice Hunters are redeemed while Panther is restored to Tormak. The Phoenix leave Chima and ascend to the sun with their task complete. Chima becomes a paradise land once again, completely void of evil, and the 8 heroes stand atop Mount Kavora with peace and balance restored to their home. When Cragger asks Laval what he sees from Mount Kavora, Laval states that he sees hope, joy, the power of nature, the world in balance, the spirit of their friendship, and the Legends of Chima. The final scene of the episode shows that Chima and its surrounding area are part of a floating island that is hovering about different land. In this way, I told you the legendary story of Legends of Chima from start to end. If you like these kind of recap videos, you can like the video and write the cartoons you want in the comments. See you in the next one. Bye!